Hi everyone and welcome back to That Tom Bloke Racing episode 12. Thank you so much for hitting play. We finished the last episode, the June episode, with that incredibly difficult challenge. It was so difficult we did it in two parts. So I'm really glad that's over. We're actually at the end of July in real terms now. We have the July challenges. We also have the August challenges. Now, as I hinted at the end of the last episode, they're very similar. They're quite vague. And to be honest, compared to what we've done, they should be relatively easy. So I've decided I'm going to combine the two. I'll show you why. So in July, we've got to compete in a series of sport mode races focusing on race strategy. We've got to improve the fuel and tyre management in longer races. We do that all the time. And the goal is to consistently finish within the top 20% of daily races. So I believe there's 15, 16 cars for every race. So that's the top three and a half. So podium finish consistently. And then for August, it says to reach a driver rating of C plus or higher. That's a ChatGPT error. There is no C plus rating, so that would mean a B. I'm already a C anyway. So it makes sense for that challenge to be to reach a B level. To fine tune your skills by focusing on lap consistency and clean racing. We do that every time anyway. And the goal is to win 2 online races in a competitive lobby. Again, we do that relatively easy. Obviously, trying to get 2 is good. So I'm going to combine those two. The main takeaway of that is to reach a higher driver rating B. If we do that, we'll have done all the others and vice versa. So I don't know. It's a new week. It's Monday now. So let's see where we're going. Why can't I get into there? Let's see where we're going to try these. I haven't even looked at these yet. So daily race A looks like special stage route X. I'm not going to bother with that. Race B is Sardinia Group 3. That's always a bit of fun. Race C is Monza in a special car. The F1 style car. I've seen a lot of people freak out about this. I love driving these. It's okay. Those could be quite fun. Like I said, we are currently B. Where do I see my rating? I know I'm currently a C level driver. So I'll probably turn this camera off, but that's our goal. I'm just going to get cracking, get racing. I've been looking forward to doing this because I've been doing time trials for too long. Just want to get out and race other people. So I'll see how we get on. I'll see you in a minute. Now, I did do a few races on those 2 circuits, but I didn't move up in the ranking at all. I had some okay races, but mostly finished middle of the pack each time, and there wasn't any exciting enough races to show you. So we're actually on to the next week now, and this race is at Fuji International Speedway, and we're starting in 9th. If I remember rightly, and if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me in the comments, but I believe that if you finish in the top 8, your ranking goes up a bit, then it goes down if you're in the bottom 8. I think there were probably other factors too, like how many places you gain, but we don't need to overthink it. If we keep just finishing as high as possible, we'll get there. I'd learned my lesson from the previous episode that using this Gemini is a smart move. Like I said then, it's a weird car because it doesn't feel or sound as fast as some of the others, but it consistently does well, so I do recommend it. And we proved that on this first lap at Fuji, making a few nice moves. There are all kinds of corners on this track, so you definitely have to use some of the skills we've been learning throughout this series. I noticed my fellow countryman Art456 take the very wide line on this corner, which I know is often good, but I'm afraid I can't condone his complete sideswipe as he straightened out here. Although I'd be lying if I didn't say it was a bit of a help to me down the straight. We very nearly got taken out on turn 1 by the blue GTR behind us, but luckily his brake stopped him within a couple of inches by the look of it. Fast forward a few corners, we're still in this lead pack. P1 is running away with it, but the rest of us are bunched up, and I felt like I was racing quite well. The French driver ahead has a penalty which might help us. Arch was going for his signature move again here. It is smart when it works because you maximise the speed all the way along the enormous straight. That penalty did help us a bit insofar as it drew us virtually level with the French driver. I'm hoping from his name he's also a Lewis Hamilton fan, even though there are plenty of good French 1F drivers out there, just not as good as Sir Lewis, of course. We did take him, but we have to say he made a nice move into turn 1. I was hoping to switch back on him, but there wasn't room, so fair play. It made for a good race from here. I wanted to put the pressure on, making it look like I'd dive bomb him to throw him off his racing line, but not necessarily doing it. My thinking is that he'll make a mistake under the pressure, and then I'll just find the right moment and do the move for real. It stayed like that for a while. I was right on their tail. You can tell that they were getting nervous here, clearly didn't know which line to take to defend. We eventually got the opportunity on the final turn, sneaking up the inside when they went wider than you need to. We got a fairly hefty side swipe for our efforts, which wasn't very nice. So maybe more of a Max Verstappen fan after all. This time they didn't get me on turn 1. In fact, I managed to pull away quite nicely out of it, but I also knew the race was definitely on now. They did not seem like the kind of driver that was going to be happy with that result. I knew they'd go for a move at some point, possibly even a bit of a cheeky one. So we're down to the last sector of the race now. So many tricky corners, so many opportunities for them to take me or for one of us to make a mistake. So it's still anyone's. On the final corner, I thought I'd go for Archer's line, which sort of worked, and then it was just a drag race to the finish. Of course, they're going to defend, I get that. But unfortunately, we couldn't get past. So we finished in 5th, which, given that we started in 9th, is a good result. And it was a fun race, which is always the priority. I did get straight back into the next race, and I had a 5-lap battle with this German driver. Didn't quite manage to catch them, but we did improve a bit with a P3. On this next attempt, I actually started in pole position, which was promising. Rather than leave you hanging and guessing, I'll just jump straight to the end and say that I had an absolutely flawless race here. I led from start to finish, and I bagged the win quite easily. Presumably this gives me plenty of points in the ranking algorithm, but it didn't move me up a grade just yet. However, a few days later, when I was just having a casual race, I won a couple of races. I was absolutely convinced that I'd recorded them on here, but it would appear not, frustratingly. But either way, the next thing I knew, as you can see here, I'd gone up to a B rank. So we had done it. We easily met the brief of getting 2 online race wins. I think I'd done about 6 or 7 by this point. which meant we'd hit the big one of the moving to a B ranked driver. And yes, I'm over the moon. That does feel like quite a big accomplishment, and we are perhaps starting to get to slightly better than average. So great news all around. July and August challenges accomplished together. Time to tick those off and move on to the next ones. Now, I've been looking ahead at the next few months. Things are going to get a bit tricky here. Let me put September up on the screen now. So to set a lap time within 2% of the world record, we've already done that a couple of times. Mastering advanced techniques, again, that's literally what we do every race and how we got here. And then win a race while starting from the back of the grid. I won't lie, I don't think that's possible in sport mode, especially if I'm going to be going up against ranked B drivers now. And I say that because I've watched some of the big YouTubers try that exact challenge. Even someone who took part in a world championships, even dropping themselves down several lobbies, and they've still not done it. Offline, we do that in every race. That's normal. And I play on expert mode. So that bit's not a problem. But I don't think that's doable in sport mode. October has a near identical set of challenges. Consistently finish in the top 10% of races. I'd say we do that easily now. Compete in a Gran Turismo championship. Okay, that sounds good. But there hasn't been one for months, I think, even since we started this whole series. Then the 2% lap time record again as the main goal. And basically, this continues like this right through to the end of the year. So I'm a bit torn about what to do. I want to still make interesting videos, not the same thing over and over. But I also can't deny it's become a bit tougher to keep a schedule recently. So I'll give it some thought. But what I might do is bring an end to this series in particular, because as a B ranked driver, I would say we can call ourselves a slightly better than average driver now. Then I'll post videos as I have great races in higher lobbies, just concentrate solely on getting to an A ranking. That's the bit I enjoy the most. That's what makes the most interesting videos. And then if a championship appears, I'll do that and film it as well. Does that sound fair? Let me know in the comments if you've got any other ideas. I'd love to hear them. So yeah, we'll move on to just improving our rank now, just some solid online racing. Not quite sure what time scale that'll be on, but I hope you continue to join me. So on that, thank you again so much for watching this. I really do appreciate it. I can't express that enough. I'll see you next time. Take it easy.